Hi, everybody. So the next question about medications that Sue asked, I want to address now. She asked whether or not medication is a necessary treatment for depression. And the answer is kind of yes, no. It really depends on the type of depression that you have. It depends on the severity of the depression that you have. And it depends on the cause of the depression that you have. If your depression is caused by serious chemical imbalances in your brain, it is very unlikely that without medication you'll be able to solve your problems and to start working on your recovery. However, for a lot of people that are suffering from depression, um, they find that great lifestyle changes, exercise, um, socializing, friends, living a healthy life can go a long way to eliminating their depression symptoms altogether. Unfortunately, I'm not in that group. I need medication. Now, my doctors tell me about 30% of my recovery is based on finding the right medication and being able to control the balance of my brain so I can work on things like cognitive behavioral therapy to train myself to stay out of the negative mindsets and the panic mindsets. But over the last year, I have used an awful lot of medications in my search to find happiness. These are the medications that failed me. As you can see, there's 6 different ones. They've all failed me for different reasons. Some of them didn't do anything to improve my depression. Some of them improved my depression but gave me other horrible side effects like terrible nightmares. Um, and some of them just knocked me out and made me feel like a zombie. One in particular, when I was on Cipralex of 20 milligrams, made me feel like a zombie, and it made me feel completely apathetic and ataxic. I talked very flat. I didn't really care about anything. I could have gotten into a car accident and I would have just been like, what are you going to do? Um, so those are the medications that failed me. Currently, however, I am having some better luck with medications. I'm going to show you what I'm using currently. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is the current mix of a happy life for me. What we have is a combination of a few different things. The main ingredients are Effexor, which is an antidepressant anti-anxiety, and Abilify, which is a very similar drug to Effexor, and it's used to boost Effexor's performance for me. The last little buddy that you saw there is marijuana. And marijuana, I have found, has made it to my success pile, whereas there are 2 medications on the plate that did not make it to my success pile that are supposed to do very similar things. Now, the ones that failed me were Ativan and clonazepam. They are specifically designed to eliminate panic attacks and eliminate anxiety. I found that they did this to a moderate degree. Ativan is a faster acting drug. You put it under your tongue, you let it melt, it gets into your bloodstream within about 10 minutes. If you're having a really bad panic attack, it can be pretty quick relief. But what I found is it was never really relief. It would take the edge off a little bit to where I could talk to people, but I couldn't really function on it whatsoever. Clonazepam was slightly better. It's a longer acting drug. You swallow it as opposed to dissolve it, and it stays in your system for about 8 hours. And again, it never really did the trick for me. It helped calm me a little bit, but it didn't get rid of the butterflies. It didn't get rid of it only got rid of the very worst of my panic symptoms. The current medication mix that I'm on right now relies on marijuana. Now, I say relies on marijuana. I would have told you before October 27th it relied on marijuana. Marijuana was what I used to treat my panic attacks. I find when I smoke marijuana, within about 5 minutes, pretty well all of my symptoms of panic disappear. Um, and on top of that, it seems to enable me to think about things in a slightly different way and to be able to trace my negative thought patterns and to be able to find out what's triggering a particular episode. And quite often, when you're having a panic or an anxiety attack, if you can be realistic with yourself about the triggers, that can be a huge part of just eliminating the attack altogether. So that's basically my answer, Sue, for drugs. So the answer is no, you don't necessarily always need them, but depending on the hill that you're climbing, sometimes they are a necessity. And when they are a necessity, With the drugs, you also got to pack a lot of patience, and you got to be ready for trial and error, and you've got to be ready for some bad days, because again, you're fiddling with the brain here, and even the best scientists in the world aren't 100% sure of what's going on there. So, I am going to talk much more in depth about medications and specifically about marijuana in one of my very next blogs. Anybody else has any questions? Send them to me, DM me, put them on the thread. And again, I just want to thank absolutely everybody. It it keeps just amazing me, the feedback that I'm getting and the interest that this is getting. Um, Guys, I want to make this world a better place. I want you to help me make this world a better place. Share this, get this out. Let's talk about it.